Hello, I'm Paul Larson. Retired 7th grade English teacher Janice Dave Stanley of Plattsburgh, New York has found a way to combine her interests in nature photography, graphic design, and children's poetry. In this author visit, she talks about writing, designing, and self-publishing a series of picture books. I'm here with author Janice Dave Stanley of Plattsburgh, New York, but most people know you here as Jan Stanley.
That's correct.
And you are retired now.
Yes, I am. I'm a retired teacher.
And you have turned bookmaking into a hobby.
I certainly have. It's been a fun thing to do once in retirement now that I have time.
How did it all start?
I helped a friend to put one of her books together. She had written a story and did some watercolors, and she needed some help with the format. And I formatted the book for her, and I had so much fun I wanted to do it myself.
Well, let's take a look at one of your books, Henry the Heron and the Big Race. How did you start this book? Did you have a story in mind at first?
No, I didn't. I like to take pictures, and I had my camera with me, and I was passing by the hospital pond one day, saw the heron, pulled in the parking lot, jumped out of the car, and started taking pictures. And it wasn't until I put the pictures on the computer that I realized I had some good ones. I needed to find out more about the heron, and that's how I started.
So you look at the photos that you have, and then you write a story around it?
Yeah, basically that's what I do. For Henry, I did some research on the heron, and I found a Native American myth about the heron and the hummingbird, and that was the story that inspired my story. Anyway, it was the myth that inspired my story.
That's really beautiful. Now, the hummingbird pictures, did you take them as well?
No, it's very hard to get a hummingbird picture, but whenever I need a picture to fill out my stories, I can get a stock picture online usually.
Well, one thing that really impresses me about this book, you have a poem that you've written that is the story, but in the back you have some wonderful facts about herons, and that turns this whole project into a very educational one. You say the heron's wingspan is about 6 feet. A heron can be 3.2 to 4.5 feet tall. Why did you want to include these facts?
I think it's the teacher in me. Though the story is fun and it's interesting to hear, it's written in verse, and kids love rhyme and rhythm, but I wanted to include some of the facts, which I didn't in the poem.
What is your goal with this hobby of book creating?
I love nature, and I think if you look at my books, they celebrate nature. It's about the beauty of nature and the North Country, actually.
When you say you're celebrating the beauty of the Adirondacks, when I look through the books, we're not seeing mountainscapes or big fields. What are we seeing?
You're seeing close-ups of ducks, butterflies, flowers, herons, bees, spiders, whatever it's like a visual journal. I just take pictures, and then the pictures inspire the stories and the poems.
And sometimes you don't even have to go very far to get inspiration to take photos.
No, sometimes right in my backyard, in my garden.
And what kinds of pictures have you taken in the garden?
Well, I have pictures of flowers, but bugs and butterflies and anything that I see that catches my eye.
You have a whole book of butterfly pictures.
Yes, certainly do.
Is this your garden in this book?
That's my garden.
These pictures are exquisite, and you took them?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
The metamorphosis is, those are stock pictures, but all the butterfly pictures are mine.
Now, I like this picture where the sunlight is hitting the flower and the wings of the butterfly, and yet the background is all black. How did you achieve that?
I think because I'm not a trained photographer, that I don't follow the rules all of the time. So I think I was shooting into the sun, and that morning the butterfly was there, and the sun was coming over the house, and it turned out that way. Didn't plan it.
So would you like to read a little bit of your book for us?
Sure. I'm Mavis the monarch, and I'm free, I can spread my wings, I'm free to be me. I am now a butterfly with beautiful wings. I can soar to new heights and see wonderful things.
What's the message for the readers?
The message is that we can all be free and spread our wings. Sometimes we get into our own little cocoon and we just stay there. But there are all different kinds of things that can give us wings, like reading and photography and all kinds of creative things.
And there's also a beautiful message of just be yourself in here.
Just be yourself, yes, definitely.
Well, let's talk about this book, Hello, Molly.
Hello, Molly. Mm-hmm.
This has a whole nother educational element in it that I find very exciting.
Yes.
But please tell me how this started.
My husband is a fisherman, and we like to fish on Lake Placid. He's been fishing Lake Placid for a long time. And I go to catch pictures and scenery. I don't fish. But that one particular day, this mallard was just following our boat. And it just looked so friendly, like she wanted to say hello. And we have some friends who have a camp, and the kids who come to the camp call the mallards Molly, and that's where the book started. And of course, Hello Dolly, the song that used to be in Hello Molly.
And there's a refrain in the book.
Yes, there is. We would see people from all over the world coming to this beautiful lake, to see this beautiful lake. And I just envision them saying hello to Molly in all the different languages. And this is how it came to be. To the lake, tourists came from France and from Spain, from Japan and as far as Beijing, and from cities quite near, their greetings were clear. To Molly they came to bring. Hello, Molly, they'd call. Hi, yo, howdy, y'all. Bonjour, ciao, and hola. Ni hao, namaste, and shalom. Guten Tag, and konnichiwa.
That's delightful.
Kids love to say konnichiwa.
And this is, you hear this several times in the book.
Yes, it's repeated, and that's why by the end of the book, the kids know all of the different how to say hello in the different languages.
So this actually can spark an interest in language learning.
It certainly could, yes, definitely.
And I understand that teachers in schools have picked up on the educational elements of the stories, and this one, for example, Apple Valley Alley.
Right.
How might a teacher use this in a classroom setting?
Teachers have used them in before and after the kids have gone to the field trips at the local orchards. And they have invited me in to read them, or they use them themselves, and the kids know what to expect, or they can point out things that they have seen once they've returned to the classroom.
Oh, so you read to the kids?
Yes, I do.
And what's enjoyable about that for you?
The excitement of the kids when they see a real live author. It's really funny. They get very excited. One little girl said, I was so excited I couldn't sleep when I heard you were coming, you know. And they call me a real live author, which is cute. They're really cute.
That is awfully sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Author Visits is a production of Mountain Lake PBS. To learn more about the authors and their books, head to the Author Visit section of our website at mountainlake.org. Support for this segment is provided in part by the Glenn and Carol Pearsall Adirondack Foundation, dedicated to improving the quality of life for year-round residents of the Adirondack Park.